you're welcome to exclusive interview. I am Blessing Haruna, your mic cracker. Today on our still, we'll be bringing you the strong comrade. He has the zeal, he has this passion, the fire in him is too fresh. Yes, it has so much flame within him. He's none other person than a social commentator, an activist, an entrepreneur, the secretary to Youth Progressive Forum, the strongest pressure group in Abuja, the secretary to FCT technical team. None other person than Comrade Ifeanyi Precious. Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day. Good to have you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
How's been your day?
My day has been nice. It's been filled with lots and lots of topsy-turvy, and you can actually also attest to the fact that it's hot. Yeah. Abuja is really hot right now, and so just trying as much as possible to also, leverage on the kind of environment we have and try to cope with both the heat and then the intensity and the pressure of the failed queues here and there, the high cost of the whole hardship thing.
Okay.
So it's been telling, but all in all, we give God thanks, and I think the day has been good. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't want us to take much of our time here.
Okay.
Let's go straight to the issues of the day.
Okay.
I saw just few days back on social media, the senator has picked the senatorial ticket for 2023 election.
That's right.
Does that mean that there is nobody? It remains unopposed as the usual track we've been having.
Okay, thank you very much. I think your question is very timely and fundamental. But first of all, let me also try to correct an impression. In as much as that ticket is a senatorial ticket for the distinguished Senator Philip Aduda MFR, the ticket was picked unanimously by stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party, and then also other stakeholders who are in his constituents, which is Abuja. Honestly, it was something that came to his greatest surprise. And I think he was at home when they called him and said, distinguished, look, we've picked a ticket for you to run for another term in office. But more importantly, there is a philosophy in football that, coaches try as much as possible to adopt, which is you do not change a winning team.
Okay, sorry to break you.
Okay, thank you.
Does that mean he's the best player you guys have in
That's arguably what you can say, and I can assure you that you can take that to the bank. Senator Philip Aduda is the best player, let's use that word, the best player that you have in the team as far as FCT politics is concerned right now, for a whole lot of reasons. First, coming from the angle of the natives and the indigenes, I feel so much for a whole lot of them, because you're coming from a very, very largely disadvantaged position. There's been issues of land grabbing here and there, and people have actually occupied your land. Some people who are strangers here have also come here to stay. And in all these things, government is yet to recognize the role of the indigenous people in the FCT. And having an illustrious son of yours who has who has set the pace and who is a trailblazer in the National Assembly. He rose to become the Senate Minority Whip, which makes him a principal officer in the National Assembly. And, out of the 109 senators, he's among the 9 principal officers of the National Assembly. I mean, an Abuja son. I don't think it would have been I don't think it would have been nice to say you want to have someone else who wants to test the waters as against someone who has tested the waters. And let me also say this, just like as an addendum. Some people do not understand that in as much as politics is a game of numbers, but there are strategies, there are sacrifices, there are dilly-dallies, there are dialogues. There are a lot of factors that, that comes into play before the final result. And one of such factors is the fact that distinguished Senator Philip Aduda has done extremely well for his people, and then he has not biasly or sentimentally segregated his lajees or whatsoever it is that he's doing for his people to a particular part. All his projects are spread across the 62 wards in the FCT, and that has called for this unusual love, unusual acceptance that has never been before in the history of Abuja. And so I think, having said some of all this, I think for now, there's no one that stands a chance much more than him.
Okay, let me just quote from a line you just said. You said, politics is all about, is a game of numbers. But to me, what we get to see now is politics is about money. I put it that way. Okay. Politics is money. Okay. So if you don't have money, like up to what he has now, I doubt it if you have that seat, basically in Abuja, being a senator in Abuja, and he's going for the 4th time. Wow, so what can you say about that? To me, it's money. For you, you're saying it's a game of numbers.
Okay, let's look at it. Let me digress a little bit, if you'll permit me.
All right.
You see, the Southeast as a region lost an opportunity to have the position of the Senate presidency because the politics was not properly played. As it were then, for you to become a Senate president, you must have stayed a number of terms in the National Assembly. And then as it were then, we had high-ranking senators like Senator Baribe, had people like Chris Ngige, Senator Chris Ngige, Senator Osita Ezunazo, and then a whole lot of others. Now, the mistake was on the basis of the fact that people felt, okay, you know what, we don't want this way, let someone else try this. And then, as we speak to you, the Southeast as a region is still suffering from that unnecessary melee that happened during that period. Now, the FCT indigenes cannot afford not to present distinguished Senator Philip Aduda. The reason being that maybe some people are not also aware that with the political permutations and calculations going here and there, by the special grace of God, distinguished Senator Philip Aduda stands to become the next Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And now, a people that has cried for marginalization, a people that has cried for being disenfranchised, a people that has cried for people coming to their lands and taking what belongs to them without necessarily compensating them adequately and not carrying them or involving them in the political stratosphere of the country, now having a chance at a shot to have the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I don't think there's anything that is much more valuable than that. Now, let me also say this. You talked about the issue of politics for money, and if you don't have money. First, the Constitution avers that for you to contest an election, you must have to pass or be sponsored through a political party. And each political party has a process. They have procedures. Just the other day, the People's Democratic Party released their timetable and their guidelines, including primaries, purchase of forms, returning of forms, and the likes. The APC is about to have their convention on the 26th of March, and the likes. You see, it is the party that sets the pace and the tone for this. If the party says that nomination forms are XYZ amount, then it is not determined by the senators or the House of Rep members or any, it's a general thing. And also because of the space, there's this popular saying that the sky is too wide enough for every bird to fly. And so I don't think there has been anyone who has shown interest and then will say, okay, no problem, this is your interest, you have to stand it down, you have to do this. It is still open as far as the political space is concerned in Abuja. But like I said, when it comes to critical decisions, when it comes to the nitty-gritty, when it comes to the infinitesimal consideration of the best that you can have in Abuja, I don't think there is anyone whose antecedents. I'm not talking about personality. I'm not talking about aura, his character, his zeal and commitment to leadership. But I'm talking about things, tangible things that you can see and that you can feel that he has done for the people of the FCT.
All right. From what you just said, you said we can see. They are visible.
They're very
visible. Can you just outline those things that Senator Philip Aduda has done to the native people of Abuja? Just a few.
All right. These things are too numerous to mention, I must tell you.
Okay.
However, let me try as much as possible to see if I could micromanage some of all these achievements. First, because of the antecedents of distinguished Senator Philip Aduda, the Abuja people have been put on the world map because his pedigree cuts across the length and breadth of Abuja. And I'm sure a lot of the indigents and the natives do not know this, that for the sake of distinguished Senator Philip Aduda, a whole lot of achievements, a whole lot of things that he has done has been brought to the foreburner.
Okay.
And then people all over the world, spread across the length and breadth of Nigeria and Africa, have really come to recognize his input in terms of what he has done for his people. But let us also look at a whole lot of things. First, people do not also understand that the job and the role of a senator is purely legislation. That's to make laws.
That's true.
Yeah, to make laws. And the FCT do not have a governor. And just recently, the other day, we lost the bill, trying to give us a ministerial slot and then a mayoral status. Now, this practically means that a legislator has now turned a semi-governor, and people are expecting him to do exactly what governors do. However, he has left those confines to come to a point, a placid point, where he has been doing those things. I talk about infrastructure, and there's nowhere in the whole of Abuja that you would not see any of the projects of the distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, can
there's
you
nowhere.
Any location?
Yes.
Okay.
Talk about Abaji. You talk about Kwali. Talk about Kuje in Gwagwalada, in Abuja Municipal Area Council, in Buhari, everywhere. Solar-powered boreholes, have block of classrooms, you have street lights, solar street lights, you have construction of roads, construction of bridges, construction of town halls, transformers, rural engaging in rural electrification projects here and there. He's building arguably one of the largest sports centers in Abuja, in a place called Nyaya, which is an Abuja Municipal Area Council. And they are just too numerous to mention. In education, he has also done extremely well. In his payroll as we speak, we have over 200 students who are permanently receiving scholarships. Yeah, it might not be public, but through his payroll, that has been constant for the past a couple of years. And let me also speak authoritatively that there's this annual scholarship exercise that distinguished senator embarks upon, where he awards well over 2,000 of the native students scholarship, into tertiary institutions in Nigeria.
Is it randomly selection something or what?
Yeah, it is. The process is very open. First, there is a portal that opens up. Students are to make the applications and upload all their necessary details, and then the scholarship board, the technical committee meets, evaluates them, and then calls students for successful students for interviews, and then the ones who are successful after the interview are granted scholarships from between 80 to 100,000 naira, and they take the scholarship from the level of admission down to the fees itself, and then down to the end of your study. And so this is laudable. And I'm saying this because people do not also understand that in some states with governors, some of their senators are so docile. Some of their senators are not they are not really interested. They have left all the burden to the governors to do, and they come to Abuja and then relax. And as it stands, some states do not have the benefits of having this. You're a media person, and I'm sure that sometime last year you saw people distributing empowerment of shovels and wheelbarrows and hoes and the likes. It is regrettable and it is laughable. But this distinguished senator has set out to help his people to improve the lot and the plight of the natives. And I think he has done extremely well. Like I said, I've mentioned a lot of. Aside that, he has also rose to the defense of his people and has sponsored well over 30 bills in the National Assembly. One of such was on Tuesday or thereabout, where he sponsored a bill for the establishment of the Federal Polytechnic Orozo, and there was a public hearing to that effect. And the chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions, really lauded his effort by saying, look, Abuja people, you do not know who you have, because this man is breathing on our neck, bringing up bills upon bills upon bills that will help his people, and that, with his relationship in the National Assembly, will be able to pass these bills. So I think he has done extremely well in terms of trying to alleviate the yearnings and the aspirations of his people.
Okay, seeing the post on the social media, it triggered some reactions of the youth. They felt that, okay, this man, he has taken enough already, so we need the youth to come on board. So does that mean that in PDP we don't have young stalwarts to come in to contest for this post?
I think, you see, the Bible says that when the ways of a man pleases God, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Because of how, the dexterity that distinguished Senator Philip Aduda has exuded, some of us fail to understand that he's a youth. He just turned 52 the other day, and he started early. And it's looking like, oh, he's old, he's the only person. He's just within the range of the youth. He's arguably one of the youngest senators out of the 109 in the National Assembly.
So you're saying he's the Messiah that we need till that kingdom that comes?
Fortunately enough, like I said earlier, the sky is big enough for every bird to fly. But even among the birds, there is a king, and that is the eagle. And like I said, distinguished Senator Philip Aduda has not stifled anybody. He has not played any kind of negative politics of superimposing himself, of trying to antagonize people, trying to asphyxiate, to decombust the political space. It is free for everybody. As you are here now, if you want, you can go and pick your phone. So if you say he is the Messiah, you have not, you have rightly said. That's what you said, and that's what we see him as, because there will not be any other better candidate at this time, especially, like I said, owing to the fact that there is 70 to 80% likelihood of him becoming the next senator. Brings us to another discussion on the political space. And the truth of the matter is, just recently, the Not Too Young to Run bill was passed in the National Assembly, where as youths we clamored for the need for inclusion of youths in the political process in Nigeria. Yes, the bill has been passed, but it doesn't stop there. Like these assertions that you have made, they are quite trite. They are genuine. Nomination forms for these positions requires a lot of money, and that means that the bill was passed does not expressly stop us from continuing the agitations of political parties reducing the amounts they charge for nomination forms. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
That is a collective effort. It is not secluded to a particular political party or a politician or some group of people. It is a collective effort. Let me also digress a little bit. You could see the hue and cry that greeted the recent killing of the women rights, affirmative right for women bill and the likes. You know, those things are still things in the front burners that we do not need them to wither down. We must continue to breathe on their necks to be able to say, look, even if you have passed the not too young to run bill, parties must reduce, as a matter of urgency, the amount they put for nomination forms, and so that other youths can have direct access, to some of all those things. And I think, like you said, with those high cost of purchase of forms, it breeds about corruption, because people go there and then feel, you know what, I spent a lot to be able to fund my elections, and as such, I must try as much as possible to benefit from that. And again, these interests are canvassed virtually every other place until we get to that point where members of the National Assembly, people in leadership and leadership positions, see leadership as service, and not as a place where you want to have amass a lot of wealth for yourself. These things will continue.
Okay. As the secretary to SPTA technical team, what has been your job? Just tell us a few about what you do there.
All right, SPTA is an acronym for Senator Philip Aduda. So the SPTA team basically is like the think tank of most of the projects and the policies of the distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Philip Aduda. What we practically or basically do there is to formulate policies, bring out ideas, put our ears to the ground and see the yearnings of people and try to know what they need, analyze them, and find a way to, put them before the boss, who now looks at them and swings into action. And so we're like an implementation committee, and because the distinguished Senator Philip Aduda doesn't work in isolation. He's somebody that listens to people and listens to advices. And so we bring out some of those things and then give him an advice on the way to push up with those things. And so it's been a very, very interesting journey. We're still trying to. It's not Uhuru yet. It's not all over, but we're still trying as much as possible to fine tune some of all those things. The brainchild of the scholarship and all those stuff, came through the committee. We do healthcare, we do education, we do sports, and then a whole lot of other things. Yes, so that's what basically the SPTA team does. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
I guess we are much more abreast about what you people do.
Yes.
People, when next we call on you, you will avail yourself.
It's always my pleasure.
All the best to PDP candidates.
Thank you very much.
You're most
Just
welcome.
vote PDP too. Thank you.
Okay, that was a beautiful moment and a sweet chat with Comrade Ifeanyi Precious. I remain your lovely Mike Pecker, Blessed Haruna. Like I always say, join us same station, same time on Ataza TV. You can follow us on our social media platform. It's still Ataza TV. God bless you.